Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about source coding. In source coding there are mainly two parts, compression and another is Huffman coding that we are going to discuss today. So starting with the data compression part. For data compression we would be studying about this paradigm which was given by Shannon. And this there is a input. When we are giving input to this information source, this is the information source, and then from the information source we are generating the information, that is R. That information is being fed it to this encoder which we are calling it as the source encoder, where the data compression is being done. So for the data compression part, today we are going to discuss about Huffman coding, which is an important algorithm for data compression. That data which is being encoded by the source encoder is then given to this channel encoder. Now this source encoder is what the designing that has to be done by electronics part, but for this computer science students we are going to study about Huffman coding, which is an important part for data compression. Then there is a channel encoder which will have that information, and that information will be transmitted through channel. That information will be in the form of 1011, like this binary form, and that information which is passed through this channel will be given to this channel decoder, and finally channel decoder will give that information again to source decoder, which will decode that information which is encoded by the source encoder. Again the same thing, the algorithm which we are following here is Huffman coding. Through Huffman coding we are going to encode the information, and again the same information is being decoded at source decoder, and we will get the information R, and this R will finally given to the user who would be going to use the information. So first we will start with the compression part. Generally data compression means whenever we want to transmit the information, we have to compress the data and store in our system. Then that information which is being stored has to be transmitted through the channel. This is a paradigm given by Shannon. The same in data compression. There are two types of compression, that is lossless compression and another is lossy compression. Lossless compression is a compression where data is recovered without any loss. Generally whenever we are using text, there we are using this lossless compression. And when we talk about image, audio and video, we are talking about this lossy compression. This audio and video are using the compression that we already knows, that audio uses MPG. MPG is one of the algorithm which is used for audio compression, which is a type of a lossy compression. And another is for video, we are using this same MPG compression, and for this audio we are using this MP3 format or MP4 format for encoding the audio part. Then in the case of a lossless compression, the algorithm which we are going to study today is Huffman coding, is a type of lossless compression where the data which is being encoded is recovered as it is. If there is a loss of a single bit, we cannot decode the whole information. Now, when we talk about this Huffman coding, again these are the symbols that we have taken. For example, x1, x2, x3, x4. These symbols are fed to the information source. That information source will this information encoder will encode this source. Now these are the symbols which are appearing with these probabilities. These are the probabilities for x1 symbol, and this is the self information that we have calculated for all these symbols. Now with the self information we have the formula. For self information, this formula was again given by the Shannon, which we have studied about Shannon paradigm. The information again we calculate by this self information formula is log of 2 1 upon p. This is the formula which was given by Shannon, the same formula I had used to calculate the self information for these symbols. Now these symbols are fed to the source encoder, which we had studied with the source encoder part. That source encoder, what it will do, it will encode these symbols with the code word that I had written blank here. Now we are going to use this Huffer algorithm. We will understand this Huffer algorithm and we will generate the code words. These code words will be then given to the channel encoder, which will transmit the information through the channel. Now these code words, how we are going to calculate these code words, that we are going to study next. This Huffman coding, as we have written the symbols here, these symbols we have to encode with these probabilities, right? Now again we have written, I have written the same thing, the symbol there, x1 to x7. Now I have arranged, the algorithm says that we have to arrange the probabilities in the decreasing order. So I had arranged these probabilities in the decreasing order with their symbols. Now we have to start first by arranging the symbols in the decreasing order. We had to take the last two symbols which have the minimum probabilities, which is 0.01 and 0.02. We have to add these two symbols. Again the sum will be, that is, comes out to be 0.03. Now after getting the sum, we had to assign 0 and 1. These are the codes which I had to start with 0 and 1. I can take 0 or 1 like this also, but there should be a particular order that we had to follow to encode the symbols. And this Huffman coding is a efficient algorithm as compared to other algorithms in the case of a lossless data compression. Now when we see this 0.03, now we have to again arrange the symbols in the decreasing order, and as we are seeing the symbols, this 0.03 comes out in the correct order. Now we don't have to rearrange the symbols. So again we had to take the two symbols with the minimum two probabilities. So those two symbols are 0.04 and 0.03. Again we had to take the sum of these two symbols. Like this order we had to arrange all the symbols and add up those two symbols and assign 0 and 1 to these symbols. This is the order that we had to follow to encode the symbols. Again take 0.03 and 0.04, the sum is 0.07. Now again when we will see these symbols, this 0.07 and 0.07 are the same. So we can again take these two symbols, these are again arranged in a decreasing order. Again the same thing, we had to assign 0 and 1, again take their sum which comes out to be 0.14. Again we had to arrange the symbols in the decreasing order. As we are seeing, the symbols are already in the decreasing order. So again we will take the next two symbols, which is my x3 and 0.14. Again that take the sum which comes out to be 0.20. Again assign 0 and 1. This is the order that we have to follow while we are going for Huffman coding, which is one of the efficient. Again we have to arrange the symbols, 0.37 highest, 0.33 is the lowest, then 0.20. Again we have to take the lowest two symbols, which are 0.33 and 0.20. Again assign the 0 and 1. This is the order that we have to follow. Again they take their sum, that comes out to be 0.53. And finally these two symbols, now 0.53 is greater than 0.37. So what we have to do, we have to take this 0.53 above and 0.37 as below, and again we have to add both these symbols, and finally what we are getting, 1. So this is how we had used this Huffman coding to encode the symbols from x1 to x7 given their probabilities. So after getting this one, we can have a code word for any symbol. Like take for example this x4 symbol. For X4 symbol, I had to give the code word. For this, for calculating the code word, I had to start with the last, as we had already done 0 and 1 for the last symbol. So I will be taking first 0, then I had to take this one, then this one, then this one, and finally this one, and finally this 0. So I can write for this 0.07, the code word will be 0, 1, 1 and 0. This is the code word for my 0.07. This is how, as you can see directly, how we had calculated this code word. If I will start with this 0.07, first what I had given, assigned this symbol 0. Then I had taken this one, I had followed this chain, then 0.20, this one, these are my these two ones, and finally what we had done, the sum is 0.53. 0.53 has been assigned the value 0. So I had taken this 0 for finally, this is how we are assigning the code word for this 0.07. So I can write this 0.07 for my symbol X4. For X4 my symbol is 0, 1, 1, 0. Like this again, if we have to take for 0.04, 0.02, 0.01, we have to start from there, from the rightmost 0. Take for example this 0.04, we have to start with 0, 0.04, we have to start with 0, then 1, this one, then this one, these two one, then this third one, and finally 0. So this is my code word for X5. This is how I will write this 0, 11110. Again similarly for 0.02. And this is how I will give the code word for Huffman coding, and this is the order that we are following for calculating the code word for Huffman code. After calculating these code words, if we are just comparing the code word with their self information, if we just compare, self information comes out to be 5.6439. This is the self information of the particular symbol X6. If we compare this self information with the code word, you will get the same number of bits which I am getting here, which is 5, and in this case also I am getting this 5 bits for my 5.6 comes out to be my 6 bits. We can take for example X6. This is my X6. This is my X6. We can take for X6 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 ones are there. We have this last two zeros. Similarly for X7. Similarly for X7 also we are having the same 0, 111 and the same code word, because as we are seeing here, the 6 is the self information and 5 is here 5.6. So for both these two symbols I am getting the same number of code word, that is 6 bits. Now starting for X1, if we go for X1, I had used only 1 bit. So I will give X1 simple. My code word for X1 is 1, and for X2, if you go for X2, what I had done, first 0, then I had again 0, 2 zeros, and for this one I will get 0, 1, 0, 0, 1 and 0 for X3 symbol. Now finally what we have to do, now I have to check this algorithm is better or not. Now for checking the efficiency, we have to check the efficiency of this Huffman coding. So for checking the efficiency of Huffman coding, first I had to calculate the entropy of the symbols, and entropy of the symbols is the average information of all these symbols. Now for taking the average information of all the symbols, I had to use the formula for entropy, which is my H, this is my S. S is the source. I had represented source with this 7 symbols. So starting with the 7 symbols. Now I had to take the 7 symbols. So calculating the entropy of the 7 symbols, I had to use this formula, summation I equal to 1 to L. L is my total number of symbols. Pi log to Pi. Now this Pi is the probability of all the symbols. Now my total number of symbols are 7. So I can write probability of I equal to 1 to 7 P of I log 2 Pi. We have to note here the base of my log is 2. So whenever we are going to calculate this log 2, we had to take first log 10 divided by log 2. This is how we are going to calculate this log value. So first we have to calculate the entropy. To calculate the entropy, we had calculated the self information. So we had to add up all this self information and we will get this entropy. So for my calculation, entropy comes out to be 2.1152 bits. This comes out to be, entropy comes out to be 2.1152 bits per symbol. This is the average information that I am getting from these symbols which I had encoded. Now, first we had calculated this HS. Now I have to calculate. Now secondly, I have to calculate average code words. My total number of code words, what I had used, x1, I had used 1 bit. For x2, I had used 2 bits. For x3, we had used 3 bits. Now for these code words, I had to calculate average number of bits, what I had to use to encode this information. So for that formula, we have R bar equal to summation of, again the same, I equal to 1 to L, Ni into Pi, Li into Pi. Li is my length of one symbol and Pi is the probability of that particular symbol. So we had to calculate this R bar. This R bar will be calculated for all the symbols. So for calculating R bar, I had to take the length of the first symbol, that is the length of the first symbol is 1, multiplied with the probability, that is 0.37, plus length of the second symbol, that is 2, multiplied by its probability, that is 0.33. Like this, I have to calculate the average symbols that are being used, code words, average code, that comes out to be R bar. Now what we have to do to calculate the efficiency? To calculate the efficiency, we have to write this is the symbol that we are using, and for calculating efficiency, we have to divide entropy by R bar, which is my average code word that I had used to encode these symbols. That will be 2.1152 divided by 2.17. This 2.17 I had calculated for this R bar. This R bar has the unit of bits, because I had used only bits to encode the symbols, which is my R bar. So I had to divide this HS by R bar to calculate the efficiency of this Huffman coding, which comes out to be 97.47%. This is the efficiency I am getting for my Huffman coding. So this Huffman coding gives me this much of efficiency to encode this code words, these symbols. So if we compare this Huffman coding with the other coding algorithms like Shannon-Fano, Shannon coding algorithms, this comes out to be more efficient algorithms in terms of bits used to encode the information. This is all about Huffman coding.